He is playing in PA today on PB2X with another battle of the open class crews at the Northeast Open. We have another short chat with Bob Long, and we warn you who to watch out for at the World Cup. PB2X is ready to rock. Just push play. See that? Goose pimplet. Ready to roll. PSP Northeast Open. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. It's playtime, but not romper room kind of stuff. Oh, no, these are pros out here, hitting it and getting it, ducking and dodging, all while 200-mile-an-hour projectiles are coming at them. It's Paintball 2Xtremes. We got a great show for you. As always this week here from Pittsburg, Pennsylvania. Going to meet a lot of pros and watch a lot of action and all kinds of goodies. Isn't that right, Jen Pierce?
James, you nailed it. Want entertainment? We'll sit back and relax as we get up close and personal with paintball legend Bob Long. Want to be enlightened? Well, we got the straight scoop on a barrel with a radical twist as we clock in for our 1-minute review. And as for excitement, well, you got that with the Open Class Division X-Ball. Let's get our game on now.
Oh yeah, got some open X-Ball for you at the PSP Northeast Open. The boys in blue, Dynasty on the right, taking on the Naughty Dogs. Last week you saw the Naughty Dogs take down Infamous, come from behind and battling back and battling strong. Now they've got their hands full though. D-Y-N-A-S-T-Y and chopping one down right off the start.
Yeah, Dynasty, tough team to beat. Actually suffered a loss earlier in this tournament against Excessive. Now playing the Naughty Dogs to see who will go on and play for first place against Excessive. And Dynasty looking like they really want it. Coming out strong here, pretty much taking this first point really quickly.
Well, Ollie Lang and company firing down Rocky Knuth. And one left standing, one will head on back. So Lang, BC, Brian Cole will hang this flag, and just like that, it's 1-0 for Dynasty. But as we know in X-Ball, PGP, there's a whole lot of X-Ball to be played. Just 1-0 right now. Remember, the Naughty Dogs, in the last show we showed you against Infamous, they started really slowly, 0-2. Come charging on this one, though.
And interestingly enough, if you look the way the Naughty Dogs are breaking out, it's the same way they started the first 2 points against Infamous where they lost. They weren't going real wide to the snake. They were trying to shoot. They were just coming into the inside Aztec. And it looks like they're doing the same thing here, losing the first point. We'll see how it works for the rest of the match.
Well, one on each team going down, Dynasty and the Naughty Dogs. Quincy B taking a squat and refilling.
Yeah, it looks like the Naughty Dogs are down to one player, Colin out there all by himself. You can hear his coach trying to tell him the Dynasty player's moving. He's coming over the top, but I don't think he knows there's one coming up on his left right now.
No, not like that. He waved. He waved like he knew what was going on, PGP, but coming and taking him down is Quincy. So Colin Laster getting plastered, and Dynasty plastering the Naughty Dogs up 2-0, just like that. We'll have more later.
The part that I love most about X-Ball is checking in with the teams on the sidelines during the breaks between points, because that's where the coaches and the captains are plotting, planning, and adjusting their strategies. They are trying to figure out their opponent's game plan with the same kind of intensity as you guys do when you're searching for your answers to paintball questions. So step right up, grab the microphone, and let the experts handle your questions.
My name is Andrew, and I was wondering, what's the best kind of camo you guys can get?
Hi, Andrew. This is JJ with National Paintball Supply. To answer your question, it depends on what type of terrain you're in. In terrain like this, bright green works well. Sometimes brown's better, as you can see over here. So you got to wear the camo that fits the surroundings.
All right, I got to riddle me this question of my own. Does Bob Long have 1 or 2 of these inside of him? 2. The guy's like a machine. He keeps going and going and going. And earlier this year, I got to sit down with him in the line of fire, and it was so much fun. We got another installment coming up. That and more X-Ball, of course. Stay right there. We'll be back after this short break.
Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by Empire, Innovation, Dedication, Domination. By Bob Long, creator of the legendary Intimidator and Defiant markers. And by Paintball 2Xtremes, covering the game.
Thousands of my friends. All right, hundreds of my friends. All right, there are two. Two people behind me and a whole lot of smoke and mirrors, but you know what? We three are having a good time at the PSP Northeast Open, and we're always having a good time playing paintball. But have you ever played and thought, man, wouldn't it be great if my ball could just go through a bunker or even go along a bunker and then say, oh, there you are, and then hit your opponent? It'd be so much easier, wouldn't it? You know what? You can do that now. Seriously, you can. You don't believe me? Check out this week's 1 Minute Review.
Hello, I'm Ben Tippman with BT Paintball Designs. Today I'd like to introduce the newest technology in paintball. The Apex barrel system has a patented paintball guidance system which allows you to curve the ball around bunkers. It also gives you a distance unmatched in paintball. The adjustable ramp switch allows you to turn the Apex on and off, and you can also grab the mechanism and spin it left, right, and down to adjust your shot in which direction you want it to go. If you turn the apparatus upside down, you can actually drop shots over trees or bunkers that are laying on the ground. When it's in the on position, it puts backspin on the ball, which creates a greater distance, almost double what a normal shot is. The Apex barrel system is threaded to fit all the most popular brand of paintball markers in the industry. So if you need that impossible left shot, right shot, or added distance, the Apex barrel offers the most advanced technology in paintball.
Well, Ben Tippman may have created a great way to tweak the trajectory of your shots, but if you want some straight shooting, there isn't anybody more willing to tell it like it is than Bob Long. Here's an encore presentation of Big Bad Bob standing in the line of fire.
Most important thing in becoming a better paintball player?
Practice. In the early years, in the old Ironman, we were the only team that practiced. I came from a semi-pro football team, and I put it just like football. We did drills, we ran, we exercised, we did everything. What I tell everybody to do when they start playing paintball is use your brain, because you're physically, what's going to happen in later years, your body will die on you. Your body, but your brain doesn't. So just use your brain. And if you're physical and know how to play the game, and know how to use your brain, you'll capture everything. I go, this game is to use your head. It's not to use your muscle. It's not to use your gun. It's to use your head. It's a chess game. So you gotta outsmart them.
You play chess?
No, I played it when I was in school, and that's it.
Because you talk about paintball like a big chess.
Because that's what it is. It's a move to make somebody take that move to where you can take that move. So I walk a field and I play a game, and I can see the moves before they do it. I know what they're going to do because they're logical. These are logical moves. It's logical for him to move from this bunker to this bunker as soon as he puts me in. So, okay, what is he going to do? He's going to put me in. So I go in for a split second. I go 1, 2, poof, he's going. And that's his logical move, and I catch him halfway out. So a lot of people just have to see everything. They can't imagine. It's all in the imagination. It's all in your brain. Everybody thinks that you have to win every game. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I've been doing this for a long time. You're not going to win every game. What you do is you do the best you can in every game, and then you become a champion when you do that. But if you go out there and think you're so cool that you're going to win every day, you're fooling yourself. But you do the best you can, and if you do the best you can every game, you will become a champion.
Well, old Bob certainly talks as fast as he shoots. It was a rapid-fire conversation, but it's time to get back to X-Ball, where the open class pros are letting their markers do the talking.
All right, Jen Pierce, thank you very much. And look at the Naughty Dogs trying to claw their way back up against Dynasty. Dynasty started things off 2-0, but since then, we've had 1 point go the way of the guys in red. The Naughty Dogs down now 2-1, and this is point number 4 you're taking a look at.
Yeah, it looks like the Naughty Dogs, some of their sweet spotting, laning on the break is working. You can see right there, they were laning the left side. Dynasty player ran right through that lane trying to get to the stand-up tower, and they took him out right there on the break, giving the Dogs a slight advantage here on this point.
PGP, a lot like football or basketball, where you go in, you make the halftime adjustments. You got to learn to adjust on the fly and change and adapt, don't you?
Absolutely. Each point is different. You can see before we saw the Dogs scoring over on the Snake side. Dynasty obviously watched that game and shut them down. You see in these points here, the Naughty Dogs are trying to push the Dorito side or the spectator side of the field. So they've switched their game around to keep Dynasty guessing a little bit.
BC, Brian Colt, back behind the Mayan. It was doubled up. Now there's just one back there as he goes back. Wow, making a move now. The guys in red, Naughty Dogs on the left, Dynasty on the right.
And you can see a beautiful double move there. When the guy goes to the X, the Dynasty players focus on the X. The coach yells X. The Snake player immediately goes wide, causing a little bit of confusion there, trying to flood them with options.
And now they're heading right to hang that flag. So how about that? 2 points apiece now. All knotted up just like it was last week against Infamous for these Naughty Dogs as they fought back. On now to point number 5. The Naughty Dogs having a little bit of a down year. It'd be so nice to take a big victory out of here at the PSP Northeast Open against a strong team like Dynasty.
Yeah, the Naughty Dogs hanging tough here, what is arguably the best team in paintball right now. And definitely holding their own, looking good at this event. This would be a huge win for the Naughty Dogs. Not going to get it that way, taking one right to the side of his head. But again, you saw last point, they tried to go Dorito side. This point, they came back, tried to go Snake side. Didn't work for them, but you try to keep your opponents guessing.
Well, nothing seems to be working right now for the Naughty Dogs. Rocky Knuth gone, the rest of them gone. So, after taking 2 points in a row, this one goes back to the boys in blue. Dynasty will hang this flag, and 3-2, they lead it. More X-Ball to go. We'll have the rest later. Extra, extra, read all about it. 5 young paintballers get in a circle and look down at a camera and scream, I-A-O, and one of them has his tongue pierced right down there on the bottom. It's another good issue. It's another good month for Paintball 2Xtremes. Check out the magazine, not just a TV show. Here, watch this, see what I mean. Warm up your winter with the January issue, which will be wall-to-wall World Cup coverage, along with new products and part 3 of the ref's domain. Get one today. See, we told you these guys and girls get extreme around here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the PSP Northeast Open and Paintball 2Xtremes, where each and every week and each and every stop on this show, things get more and more intense and more extreme. Because everybody is trying to make their way down to Orlando. All kinds of fun at the World Cup. Big time action, game on all week long. And it's fun watching the pros play, but it's been quite a blast, I gotta admit, watching some of these Division I players play here in Pittsburg. Right now, Jen Pierce is gonna break them down a little bit for you, a little handicapping, if you will, seeing who's heading to Orlando.
There are many teams that could be a factor in Florida, including Diesel, Doc's Raiders, Hogan's Alley, Gridlock. I could go on and on. But if I had to go out on a limb, I would suggest keeping an eye out for a pair of teams that made the leap from Division III, X Factor and DC Devastation.
I'd say we're top 3 to win the series. We really got to win this tournament to stay in the runnings, so we're going to do our best.
There are some pro influences with both teams. Steve Rabackoff, formerly of Infamous, is the guiding force behind DC Devastation.
We'll win a lot of points going forward, and we'll lose a lot of points going forward, but we'll be aggressive, going all the way. You know, honestly, all the teams in this division, at any given time, they can win it. They're good enough. It's just who plays better that weekend and who stays together as a team, on and off the field. That's the key.
X Factor has a unique plan for preparing for the World Cup. Compete against and get crushed by some of the top teams in the sport.
We are actually having a 2-day practice with Pro Dynasty. It's going to humble ourselves a little bit because they're going to pound us into the ground, just teach us a couple of things. I mean, they're the best team in the world, so I mean, we're going to learn from the best team in the world.
X Factor also takes page from the Dynasty book on team unity.
We all live within an hour of each other, so we play together every weekend, a couple times during the week, run a lot of drills. It's the same thing Dynasty has. I mean, they only fly one guy in, everybody else is right there. It's like a family, and that makes it the best.
If you want to play favorites, you have to give the edge to X Factor, as they added to their impressive list of wins with a victory over Doc's Raiders here this weekend. Despite that, World Cup looks to be wide open. So those are some of the teams to keep track of when the World Cup gets into gear. But for paintball right here, right now, it's time for some more Open Class X Ball.
Well, thank you, Jen, and welcome back, everybody. Second half action as the teams have swapped side. Naughty Dog's on the right now in the red, and in the blue on the left, Dynasty. And since we last saw you, Dynasty is up now 8-3. They've scored 5, and the Dogs only 1. So it's do or die right now for the Dogs, and they've already lost one guy, but make it to the snake. That's Brad Russin on his belly crawling up. Double move for the Dogs as they move another one behind the tall Mayan.
Dynasty taking the snake as well. Looks like we might have a nice little battle here in the snake. This should be very interesting. But you can see the Naughty Dog player crawled up to the second knuckle there, giving him a little better crossfield shots.
Well, and he takes down the Dynasty player, and filling in behind him, Ollie Lang. So again, head-to-head and squared up, ready to go when Ollie peeks his head out of there is Russell.
Yeah, it was very important for Dynasty to get a player into the snake. You could see from this angle up here that the Naughty Dog player had really nice cross shots across the field.
Is he hit? Is Ollie Lang?
It looks like he's got paint on the inside of his goggle, and the ref laying down there cannot see it. Oh, he gets hit again in the head, this time putting his hand out. This will give the Dogs a huge advantage down the snake now.
And the Dogs will take all the advantages they can get. Chopping it down a little bit, 0.4, but they're trailing 8-4 now. As we go on to our 13th point. Dynasty regroup. Naughty Dogs will regroup. They've got all the momentum on their side right now, but they got to capitalize on it. Guys in blue on the left, Dynasty on the right. The Naughty Dogs wearing the red.
Yeah, the Naughty Dogs have plenty of time here still, but what an uphill battle. Again, one of the best teams in the world, and they're down by 4 here in the second half.
And just because they've had a down year doesn't mean that they aren't one of the best teams in the world, too. Naughty Dogs, very respected in this paintball community, but losing a guy already off the break. There you look at Ollie Lang. He's already reloading, trying to fill back up and spray some more paint down there on the guys in red.
Yeah, in this open class, really, the competition is so tight, and you can see in all of these matches, rarely do you see a team take a 5, 6, 7-point lead. Like you saw in the infamous matches, sudden death overtime twice in a row. These teams are really tight as far as their competition levels.
Ollie Lang tried to make a break there. You saw it. The snake got hit in the hopper. He's sent back to the net. Firing away. Rocky Canoe. Big camo bandana.
Dynasty really content right now to take their bunkers out on the wire, not make any silly moves, just kind of hose the paint. The clock's on their side at this point. The more time they run and the longer these games are, gives the advantage to Dynasty, up by 4 points here.
8-4 is the score in second half action here. Open X-Ball at the PSP Northeast Open. Irvine, Pennsylvania. Beautiful southwestern Pennsylvania. Beautiful summer day.
And again, you just see nice, slow, methodic moves by Dynasty. One move to the left wire. As soon as they turn, the guy will slowly move to the snake on the right wire. And they're just kind of taking their time here. They don't want to do anything stupid. And again, run as much clock as possible. And unfortunately for the Naughty Dogs, that's not good for them.
Well, this isn't a good spot for Chris Aldman either. BC Cole in the snake with him, and Hinman takes the angle. We'll be back with more X-Ball between these two later.
Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, #1 supplier to the #1 extreme sport. By Diablo, play with fire. And by Paintball 2Xtremes, covering the game. Back to you for the final time as PB2X goes to Pittsburgh here at the PSP Northeast Open. I'm Jennifer Pierce, and I found a little hidden message in our show's title. You got the P for Pierce, the B for Bates, 2 for our second season and the second show here in Pittsburgh, and the X for what else? X-Ball. You put it all together and you've got the conclusion of this week's competition. Let's see who comes out on top.
Well, the Dynasty boys here at the Open X-Ball field, painting by numbers, big numbers. 12-4 is the score over the Naughty Dogs in the red. Just sweeping through the competition. They want Excessive. Excessive is waiting on the winner of this game. The championship, we'll have that next week, but let's finish it off right now. 12-4 Dynasty.
Yeah, Dynasty is on cruise control right now. Basically, they're looking forward to taking on Excessive again. Excessive beat them earlier in this tournament, giving Dynasty their loss, which is why they're in the loser's bracket now. But with this win here, they'll go on to play for first and second place against Excessive again.
And winning because of things like this. Just a sweep, and that's 13-4, just like that. So 13-4 Dynasty on the left in the blue, and the Naughty Dogs hanging their heads, just about to get neutered, finish this thing off, and send them back west.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough time for the Naughty Dogs to get back in this game. Dynasty took control early, kind of went back and forth. Dogs tried to hang in there. Dynasty definitely in control now, and the clock not on the side of the Naughty Dogs right now.
Dynasty keeps chopping away. 1-2 Naughty Dogs down, including Big Rocky Knuth. There's Ollie Lang posting up, trying to make a move behind the far Dorito and moving on this side. Down behind the Snake. Still charging hard, though, some of these guys in the red.
You saw earlier in the match, Dynasty was kind of sitting back. Clock was on their side. Right now, it looks like Dynasty is sending a message. They're not sitting back right now. They're trying to run points down the Dogs' throat. And I think they're trying to send a message for the next match.
We'll see if that message gets delivered next week on PB2X, as Excessive is waiting on these guys for the championship. It's going to be a blast. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the National Paintball Supply, to Gino Posterivo and his brother Johnny, who are two really good guys. How about that? And how about wrapping up another show here in Pittsburgh? Dang, it's been so much fun. We brought you Open X-Ball for the past 2 weeks, so next week, guess what? More X-Ball, but we're gonna crown a champion next week, and you better believe that those champions are gonna be riding the big wave down to the World Cup in Orlando. But we'll save that for next week, so make sure you check us out then. For Jen Pierce and everybody here at PB2X, I'm James Bates. We'll see you next week.